The Jeep Rubicon of pickup trucks? I'll let you decide. Well, we all know that the Ram Power Wagon makes an excellent overlanding rig, but how does it do off-roading, wheeling? What a lot of people may not realize is the Ram 2500 Power Wagon is a very off-road capable vehicle. It may be designed first off as a truck, but it's definitely have some very good off-roading hardware. Solid axles front and rear, locking front and rear differentials, and electronic sway bar disconnect, and a very robust off-road suspension. And not to mention a 12,000 pound Warn winch in case you do happen to get this thing stuck. So we're here at Hidden Falls Adventure Park today, gonna take it out on some off-roading trails and kind of just take it out on its first walk out here and see how well it does on the trails. Get it flexed out a little bit. Gonna air down the tires and get this thing ready to roll. Come here. I didn't say you could get in the front. Goodness. Ugh. Okay, here's what I aired down to. I kept the fronts a little bit higher pressure than the rear just because of the added weight. And this being a heavy duty truck, weighing in around 7,500 pounds, I did not want to air down too far, just especially these tires being load range D instead of the factory E. I think it'll be okay. Give the tires a little bit extra bite, a little bit extra flexibility, but also not losing too much ground clearance. One thing I do miss from the 392 is it had the front facing camera. You can get them on the Power Wagons, but this particular one doesn't have it. Nice to be able to see, especially with how big the hood is on this. You don't have a lot of visibility in front. All right, we're coming up on my favorite obstacle out here. Park Road 3, going up to Wildcat. It's the big hill climb on the plateau, and to the right there's this really rocky, steep climb. Nothing too crazy, there's no major ledge, but it's pretty slick, and the steepness of it, and there's some deep ruts in it, can be quite a challenge to any off-road vehicle. I'm gonna go ahead and engage my lockers here, front and rear. And better make sure I'm in low. I guess now we'll find out if they actually work. Got a lot of flashing lights. Sometimes it takes a second or two for those to engage, including the sway bar, which has reconnected, it looks like. Sway bar connect. Come on, lockers. Lockers aren't engaging. Oh, they should have engaged by now. the good news is it's under factory warranty. I have to turn that off. Parking sensors are gonna go crazy. Hey, they're locked, finally. All right, let's see. Well, hit bottom, but kept going. Looks like I hit right there. Hit the skid plate, the fuel tank skid plate. It did its job. Drive shaft looks okay. Not bad. If you've ever done any sort of off-roading, rock crawling, and you know it sounds a lot worse than it is when you hit underneath, unless you hit something vital like a drive shaft or oil pan or something like that. But as long as you straddle the ruts, don't straddle big rocks, you're not likely to hit any of that stuff. But what happens is if the surface is loose, you'll slide off the line you want to be on, and that's when you can kind of slide off and hit things you don't mean to hit. But the breakover angle I knew was going to be something that is a detriment to the Power Wagon in terms of off-roading, but it still just kept moving up that, like, it didn't care. Power Wagon doesn't care, but the locking diffs, the tires, the articulation, all that really helps. Its clearance helps too. I mean, what I hit was minimal, I think. It just sounded really bad, but I'll keep moving on here. I don't know if the top of Wildcat Mountain is just ahead, and there's the giant flex rock, the new one that they have out here. All right. Just a hair off the ground there. Wait. You gonna jump down? Whoop. One thing the Power Wagon does that the Jeep Wrangler doesn't, that annoys me, is the shifter. To go from 4 high to 4 low, you have to go through 2 high. Like 2 high is kind of in the middle. You go 4 high, pull it back. To go 4 low, you go forward. And so if you have the sway bar disconnected in 4 high or 4 low, and you switch to the other one, it goes through 2 high, and that automatically means it thinks you want the sway bar connected, so it automatically reconnects it. And that kind of took me off guard there. I thought the sway bar was still disconnected and it had reconnected. Minor thing, but just have to remember that. It's just, why isn't it made the way that the ones in the transfer case in the Jeep Wranglers is? You know, where it goes 2 high, 4 high, and then to go to 4 low, you got to go to neutral and then 4 low. I don't know. Something to do with the, I guess, the Borg-Warner transfer case that this has. Just a little pet peeve, but not really a big deal. Well, today was kind of a trial run, lessons learned kind of day. Like, I've had a Power Wagon out here before. I know its limitations. I've had many trucks out here before and know their limitations, but one thing I learned today was the steel bumpers on these aren't as strong as the factory steel bumpers that come on the Jeep on the Jeep JLs and the Gladiators, because just from tapping that rock there, now the passenger side of the bumpers, it's hardly noticeable visually, but the passenger side tire rubs it quite substantially now, just in regular driving with the sway bar connected. But that's just the kind of things you run into when you don't use a vehicle such as a Jeep, which is designed to go off-road, especially the Rubicon model. But the ride and comfort of it, and it has no problems with traction, articulation. I mean, it could articulate a little better, but for how you want this thing to ride on road and while towing, you're gonna have that. I mean, it articulates excellent for a stock heavy-duty pickup truck. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of the next motoring adventure. We take this Power Wagon out and see what else it can do or can't do. So next time, take care, everyone.